Hey everybody, just wanted to give everyone a quick status update on the Kickstarter campaign that was funded last month. Huge thank you to everyone involved. The CDs were ordered, the vinyls were ordered, and the CDs were delivered. So some of you have already received these, and as I said, I might be slipping a few here and there into some vinyl orders. The vinyls are taking a little longer than I thought. Initially they said that their turn time on the test pressings is 3 to 6 weeks, I think they said, and that would put me beginning of October, and the due date on those currently, they're showing November 5th. Hopefully they're ahead of the curve on that, because they're showing the completion of that whole 100 run or 100 copy pressing as November 20th to early December. So they were ahead of schedule on my CDs, so hopefully they'll be a little ahead of schedule on this, but I just want to let everybody know what's going on. It's still in process. My artwork has been approved, and they are just prepping everything for the actual cutting of the lacquers. One thing I wanted to talk about though is I do have, and I'll try to keep the glare down here, but I do have my CDs. And I wanted to talk about the artwork, if I could. So I had some questions about song titles and artwork from a couple people, and so I just wanted to kind of explain the concept in case it wasn't, picked up as easily as I thought it might be. I might have made it a little too deep for me. So first off, on the cover, if you can see here, so we have our little guy here, his little robe guy. That's when I did the art, that's actually what he's called. It's just robe guy. And then I've got robe guy 2 on the back. Very clever. There's a little guy in a robe. Doesn't represent anything in particular. I've always loved, like, when I was a kid, like Star Wars and that whole kind of like secret society vibe, like, like when Luke Skywalker, walks in and like takes the robe down, like you're like, oh, who's this guy? And we all knew who he was, but I've always kind of liked that thing. So the idea was, I have robe guy on the front, and he's looking at basically his world being torn apart or merged. There's a lake here, I'll explain that in a second, and then there's some ground here. This is actually a local picture that I took. This is from Cedar Creek Lake. And we were driving along one day. This is coming over the hill in the spillway. There was a shelf cloud. It was probably like 10 miles. It just almost like end to end on the horizon. And so like I took a few pictures, and I took this one, and I ended up merging it together with this picture of this lake here, which is in Colorado. Took that picture as well, and then I added my little robe guy, and I added some swirl-a-doos above the shelf cloud in the sky. And then if you look on the back, I've got another robe guy, and he's at this lake in Colorado, and seeing a similar celestial event. And just going with the title, Fortunate Confluence, one of the main reasons that I named it this was just the overarching like inclusion of genres that I covered on this, that I thought like kind of went well together. It gives a nice ebb and flow, I feel like, to the album. So I went with that, and I was like, well, what if these two people are thousands of miles away and they're witnessing the same event? And not only that, this guy's physical location is encroaching on this guy's physical location, right? So then if we get to the disc, here's robe guy, this guy. So it was kind of like just this, I wanted that aesthetic to go with the, I've got some kind of like, some kind of doom rock influences in here, and so like the robes kind of went with that, and then just kind of that confluence, like what happens when these two people of clearly similar interests, because they're dressed the same, are witnessing the same celestial event. And then it was almost kind of like, what if it was like an end of times thing? So in a good way. So I kind of just wanted to address that. I will be probably putting some information on how to purchase these outside of the Kickstarter, because I do have some extra copies, probably on my Facebook. I'm going to try to keep that kind of small, because I do have a limited amount of these, but I'll get that out soon. release date for streaming is still October 11th. I'm in a little bit of a issue with Apple Music right now. For some reason, they did not take my my submission. It just says delivery error. So I've got my distributor looking into that, but we'll still be on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all of that, anywhere you stream YouTube Music, and then also available on, if you do the TikToks and Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, all that, that'll be out there as well for use. And I said a lot, and I'm sorry, I'm just kind of winging it. And lastly, it is available currently as a pre-save on Amazon Music, and you'll be able to see all of the tracks. They won't be listenable yet, but Water and Sand is out now on Amazon Music. So if you could go give that a listen, I would greatly appreciate it. And then you would join the very exclusive ranks of myself and the group of people that have listened to that on Amazon Music. So I think that's about it. Just want to clue everybody in. I appreciate you hanging out for a few minutes, and I will talk to you guys soon.